This video is sponsored by Shake Pro. Do you kids like the video games? I love video games. I love being able to play video games for more than a few hours at a time. But who has the energy, huh? Koreans? That's why I'm a proud sponsor and sporadic user of Shake Pro, the MLG shake of the early 21st century, handcrafted with the finest ingredients to keep you going until you win that big game. You know, the big game. Shake Pro is a delicious fruity blend that gives a small plurality of test animals facial tumors. It's made with a small dose of bovine growth hormone to counteract the soy that'll give you man boobies. That's true, scientists say. So come on down to shakepro.nz and put some gas in your tank. No man, I'm not drinking that shit. Did you hear a thing about the soy? Once upon a time, there was a man named American McGee, a man with a troubled past who made levels for some of the greatest FPS games ever made, who then went on to produce his own games, making his mark with American McGee's Alice, a game that I hear is very good, but I'm ashamed to say I haven't played it myself, but I have played his levels from Doom and Quake. You know, Quake, he made some fine levels. Door to Satan, however that's pronounced, and Haunted Halls being my favorite of those, but he didn't work on Doom proper. He worked on Episode 4, Thy Flesh Consumed, for Ultimate Doom, and he made Hell Beneath. And Hell Beneath is the ball-breakingest, most obscenely difficult level in Doom's history, not including user-made content. And let me tell you something, kids, I'm pretty good at Doom. I play on ultra-violence, son, even in Plutonia, because I love my opening levels to have fucking arch-vials in them. I don't want to be that guy, you know. American McGee seems like a decent enough dude, but in terms of level designers to come out of id Software, he was the talented one who didn't blow it by thinking he was a rock star.
Play the game, Civvie.
Oh, come on. And in Chocolate Doom? Really? Fuck you. Fucking no mouse look 35 FPS purist bullshit. This level isn't, bad, exactly. It's just 1000% dickish. You start off walking into the first area where you're immediately shafted by shotgunners. Down there is toxic waste. You don't want to go down there unless you want to beat the level, because there's a semi-secret with a rocket launcher and some ammo, giving you an absolutely goddamn necessary 12 rockets. And here's a fun fact, there are more rockets in this map than there are extra hit points from health pickups. Because I'm playing on ultra-violence, you can only get 9 points of health in the entire level. Isn't that fun? And if you thought all of that teleporting monster shit was over, wait about 10 seconds, because there's more, and more hit scanners, and then a Baron of Hell teleports in, and if you don't have those rockets, have fun with that. Hey look guys, I beat it. I didn't even die once. Oh fuck. Well, that was fun, but unfortunately we have to move on to the main event, which is American McGee Presents Bad Day LA. And if American McGee ever makes a game about impaling kittens on railroad spikes, Bad Day LA would still be the worst thing with his name on it. From what I can gather, the idea for Bad Day LA came from some time when American McGee was driving down the freeway in Los Angeles and saw a Homeland Security billboard and came to the conclusion that post 9/11 America was an insane place to live because of the constant fear and stupidity of its residents that the government would feed into to push their own agenda of crazy shit. And while I agree with Bad Day LA's thesis statement, I unfortunately have to play it. And it's fucking terrible. Looking at the credits, it seems like a lot of this cheap, shitty American game was farmed out to a Chinese company. I'm not sure if that's social commentary or not. We start on a busy LA freeway, where we meet our main character, Anthony.
Get off the freeway, you retard!
Yeah, you honk that horn, honky. You the retard, driving like you got somewhere to go.
I'm calling the cops on you, Mr. Man. You better watch out.
I look like the man to you, lady?
So the main character of this game is an amalgamation of Karachi from Postal 2 and 3 different sketches from Chappelle's Show. And if this game whips out a Rick James bitch, I'm out.
I have an announcement to make. If you don't want to see it in Mudbutt, you best close your eyes.
Mudbutt.
But then a plane crashes and releases a biological weapon that turns people into zombies. It was about this point that I knew this game was going to be a shit show and I hadn't even played any of it yet.
Oh! This is gonna be a bad day in LA.
I gotta give it some credit, it runs really well. I was getting a solid 120 FPS most of the time, even though I recorded 60, but it ought to be, since the game looks like shit and you can only run it in 1024 by 768 resolution. That's it. That's all you get in terms of graphics options. No, wait, you can turn shadow on and off. You can turn shadow on and off. You don't start shooting for a while. What you have to do is use bandages to help people. to keep your threat advisory down. You guys remember the terror threat advisory? You remember 2006? Those were simpler, more innocent times.
Look, man, I think you need a new ride. Shut up and use the fire extinguisher to help that burning man.
I just want to say this off the bat. I don't want people to think that Katie's doing a bad job editing because of the way that this game cuts around and like the sound cuts out and shit and it's weird. It's not her fault.
These flames! Let's get hot. Fight the man! Fight the man!
Is that how we fight the man? We extinguish burning people? Okay, that sounds reasonable.
Hot Jesus on toast, you saved my ass, bud.
Lucky to should let you burn down. All that hunking of shit.
Got me a shotgun now. Watch this.
Okay.
Damn.
See that? Killing innocent pedestrians is bad. Downright sinful, you hear? Adds brownies to your threat advisory bar. Right there. Brownies are bad.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. You can cure zombies by blasting them with the fire extinguisher, so you don't really need to kill them. And let me tell you, once you get that shotgun, you won't want to.
What's wrong with you? Who's your dad?
Yeah, planks of wood. Who is your daddy?
Where am I going?
Oh, you're as sassy as a hedgehog. And if you wander off the path for like 5 seconds, Anthony says,
I'm kind of lost.
and the game tells you to ask for directions. You get this arrow at the top of the screen that tells you where to go, right? And that's useful, except eventually it disappears. And also to get it, you need to ask some random asshole on the street for directions.
They want us to evacuate. Where's it at? That way.
And if you do that, Anthony forgets where he's going after 30 seconds. The green gas turns people into zombies, and it can turn you into a zombie if you're not careful, which I am not. So obviously this only happened to me one time during the entire game.
Flames and fire extinguishers will cure you if you're exposed.
Oh, hell no. That ain't right. Fucking terrorists always having to bring on some shit. Where they at? I'll bring it, biatch.
You gotta escort this kid to an ambulance. He's the sick kid. That's his name. He pukes on people. He's like a companion. You don't actually have to save him or keep track of him or anything, but you would think that you would, but he's just there to puke a lot. He's not a zombie, he's just sick. I noticed that I had regenerating health, but it regenerates so slowly that it doesn't really matter.
Are you my friend?
There are mission objectives that seem random and can change at the drop of a hat if your threat level goes up. First, I have to help some people out, then I have to kill some terrorists, which is right in my wheelhouse. And this game gives you a serviceable AK-47 for the job, which is good, because the shotgun from before, it's fucking awful. Mr. Redneck can blow away innocent people with one shot, but I don't think I put any less than 3 into the head of anything in this game to take it down. The AK-47 is awful at long range. Thankfully, they give you a sniper rifle a little later that does slightly more damage than the shotgun, has the same sound, and zooms in and is basically functionally identical. The sniping isn't even good. You can't really headshot, you have to face a sniper boss that's like playing whack-a-mole. You'll never see most of the snipers first, so...
Who's bad? Dangerous! What's up, village?
I understand the idea that this game is a little bit about the chaos that is happening here. You know what it reminds me of gameplay-wise and humor-wise? It's like a shitty knockoff of Postal. No, actually, it's like a shitty knockoff of Postal 3. Yeah, think about that for a fucking second.
You would never dare to ask for more.
You die a lot from gunfire in this game because the terrorists and other armed NPCs can seemingly hit you from anywhere with the AK-47, and they'll fire at you relentlessly, and also they respawn out of nowhere forever. You can heal yourself with bags of fast food, that'll give you 30 health points, or you can get upgrades to max health with a porno magazine called FAP, and that makes this noise. Gross. You can also get big gulps, which overcharge your health, but don't get a fat magazine after a big gulp because it actually takes health away because game design. As far as I can tell, you need to get the threat level down to exit, so I do, and I take the sick kid to the ambulance.
Hello? Anybody home? Got a kid here who wants to share his lunch.
The bastards, they're all over the place. I drive us out of here, but my partner has the keys. He went to save some injured people and never came back.
No, wait, I have to go find the keys to the ambulance by running around and responding to 911 calls. This guy doesn't tell me where to go. I mean, he knows where I have to go, but I have to ask for directions from random people in the street. Once you do that and accidentally kill the dude with the keys, you get to a turret section, my favorite.
Where's my partner?
Just taking a break. Can we get out of here now?
Yeah. I I guess let's go. You keep the terrorists off us and I'll drive.
It's great because the vehicle just drives through pedestrians, and I don't mean it kills them, I mean it drives right through them. You have to understand, you're not in a vehicle, you're behind a gun, and this shit here, it's...
We made it! Thank God I can drive because you can't shoot that gun for shit.
What?
If you want swerve all over,
What? But the ambulance hits this gentleman with a chainsaw, Juan, and...
the sky
Hey,
is falling.
stupido! Don't you look before crossing the street? Come and say over. Yeah. I don't remember nothing. Says your name is Juan right there. Look, I say, I'm fucking bleeding. Hey, where's you going? Trying to get up out of here. Don't help you done ran up and busted out right.
I like when the voice actor pronounces a word correctly and not in that extremely subtle accent. The subtitles correct him.
You guys can't leave me here like this. You guys take me to the hospital.
Juan is now a member of your party, and that's bullshit because his chainsaw is useful and you don't get to have it. Oh yeah, and you can hear Juan's chainsaw in most of the cutscenes he's in.
Yeah.
It's,
It's like you just don't care, baby. Just shut up, okay?
The game likes to give you busy work even if your threat level isn't high, like healing random people or shooting zombies or whatever, before it lets you do anything else. It's kind of like a mandatory side quest. The whole not killing people thing gets a little tricky when random assholes keep throwing bricks at you. So I gotta go postal, but then I die anyway.
Feeling kind of lost.
Okay, first off, you're dead. Second, you're at one of your mission objectives right now, you dick.
Maniac! Dying's better than being saved by you.
Cool, I'm glad I died twice for that.
Can't get back carrying this thing. What you want me to do?
I don't care. I just want my baby.
Okay then.
Oh, here we go, violence towards a baby. We're edgy as fuck now.
Oh! Unnecessary roughness. 15-yard pin. Another one bites the dust.
Hey, I just did a shitty platforming section to see that joke. Oh, that noise there? He makes that noise when he jumps. Not every time, but like lots of times. Hey look, I can step in dog poo and become stinky. It's hard to play bad comedy because bad comedy just sucks the fucking life out of you. So anyway, you have to get through this place where everything is on fire, but first you have to get these kids off drugs.
You must return the children from their school, but beware the power of the wicked dealer's magic. Bring them here and we'll break the spell.
These people are whack. Hell no. Don't want to do it.
These elementary school kids, they're on drugs, and you have to keep healing them with bandages and leading them out of the way because there's evil gang members you have to kill.
Thank you, my son. You've done a good thing.
You some crazy child beating maniacs? Damn.
Damn.
Please help! My mother's inside there.
No, I can't until I kill 5 gang members, so your mother's gonna die.
Where are you going? You've got to help.
No, it's fine, she's fine. So I walk down the street a little bit
My
and...
mother's inside there. Where are you going? You've got to help.
Okay, I saved Martha, what now?
God, somebody do something! My girlfriend's in there!
Okay, I guess we're doing this again. Okay, you know what? That's not a bad joke. I'll give that one to you. Fine, what now?
Mr. You got to help me! My brother!
Evacuate?
Oh my God! Help! Help!
Ugh.
Damn, woman. You so hot, my eyes are burning. Ooh-hoo.
You have to save my baby.
That's 4 trips into a burning house. I'm still not in the goddamn airport. And now these gangsters have makeshift flamethrowers that are making my life hell. It turns out it's a dog. Not that you can really tell from looking at it, but it yaps, so it's a dog, and it belongs to this Paris Hilton knockoff who is now added to your party. You guys remember 2006? This feels like playing a video game adaptation of a Seltzer Friedberg movie.
I'm so hot.
You're that agent. The one who went crazy.
Am I?
That's him. People say he just snapped. Lost his faith in humanity. Couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, none of this matters because we don't actually see any of this stuff from before Anthony was a homeless asshole. We have character development. It's there, it counts, but I have to arbitrarily kill 5 more gangsters before it lets me go to the airport. Jesus, look at her arm. It's fucking mutated. Is that satire or is it just bad 3D modeling? I mean, the whole game is hideous when it comes to the models. They just stretch and contort, and it's really freaky. I guess what I'm trying to say is, and I want to put this in a way that this game in particular would jive with.
Nice fucking models!
Now comes the biggest and messiest fight in the game. The designers just said, let's throw a bunch of shit together and see what happens. These gang members are spawning out of nowhere and lighting these people on fire. You have to prevent them from being lit on fire to push a bus into a crater so you can cross, because jumping and climbing do not exist. You get Molotov cocktails that are next to useless as explosive weapons because the area of effect is one person. Nice, great. So you get to the airport and you have to deal with the topical comic brilliance of airport security jokes. You get tased by them, which is way more effective than the actual guns in this game, right? And when you finally get into the place, airport security stops you.
What's up with y'all?
Put your hands in the air!
Oh, I get it. They're called ass. They're called ass.
And that's all it was.
And they search you, but they don't find the shotgun, machine gun, sniper rifle, tire iron, makeshift flamethrower, Molotov cocktails. No, they find a pair of nail clippers. Get it? Because you can't take them on a plane now.
What, these? Just a pair of clippers. See?
You don't want to do that. Just put the clippers down and no one gets hurt.
But the nail clippers turn out to be a deadly weapon. They have a very powerful attack, but you didn't know, and that's the joke. The nail clippers are deadly, even though you've theoretically been carrying them around this whole time, and this joke doesn't work in the context of a shooting game. You get another boss fight at the airport with, well, let me just play it. Let me show you guys.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Where you going, baby? Still haven't had your cavity search.
So, you know, my biggest fear is a big black lady shoving a taser up my ass at the airport. Yep.
Fuck it up, man. Show them what's up. Gonna mess them up.
Oh, damn. Shit. Had to go and mess up my ride. Gonna spend some tacos now.
Look, I'm not familiar with all the racial epithets. Taco Bender's a new one to me. Well, let's just call it satire and move on.
What's that? Something about the others? Did they die? They're being held hostage. We better go save them. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I don't give a shit. I'm done with people. Gave up on them. They gave up on me.
So Anthony doesn't give a shit about anyone or anything. He just wants to escape from LA in a game that makes Escape from LA look like Escape from New York.
I don't think you're nothing. I think you're a hero.
Oh, man. You know, you all right for a disgusting little freak. Let's go save our friends.
So we gotta save all these people. This military guy with one arm is with us now, and eventually you get to a boat, but then there's a tidal wave, but at least Kurt Russell isn't fucking surfing on it. So now the city's underwater, leading you to go through a jail, and it's more of the same. Nothing important happens. Anthony gets to a helicopter and he takes it for himself.
Damn. What's taking them so long? Oh, I can't wait. Fuck 'em.
But he has a change of heart because it's time for that to happen in the story.
I don't think you're nothing. I think you're a hero.
Hey, I remember that. That was one level ago where he decided to save his friends instead of leaving them behind. Like he's doing now.
You know, you all right for a disgusting little freak. Let's go save our friends.
Oh yeah, and I almost forgot.
Nice fucking models!
Shut up and turn this thing around. I've got some people to save.
It's just satire, guys. It doesn't matter. So the Mexican army invades. See, they're all gardeners because this is satire. And they drive a tank from under the lawn. A tank where the wheels, the tread don't move.
General Juan says you are to come with me.
General Juan?
Now you have to do a turret section on a tank where you kill American soldiers because that's the most un-PC thing you could do in the Bush years. Man, you did not want to disrespect the troops. You control the aiming of the machine gun with the mouse and the aiming of the cannon with WASD, and that's fucking terrible, because you have a crosshair on screen for the machine gun, and the cannon might as well not be there because you don't need it for anything. Really, you're supposed to blow up walls with it, but you can blow up walls with a bullet, so this is actually way easier than the other turret section. Once a soldier guy takes over, you have to shoot a couple of Mexican army soldiers.
It's our take now, Taco Breath.
Okay, this is so fucking bad that only, like, really stupid racists would find it funny.
Zombie bomb will be detonated in 1 hour.
Oh yeah, the zombie bomb that the military's gonna drop is gonna happen in, like, 1 hour.
Zombie bomb will be detonated in 1 hour.
But then...
It's over, amigo. You go to Jesus now.
Oh, I get it, because Jesus and Jesus and Juan is on their side now. but I couldn't tell because everyone is a stereotype, and the only thing that separated him from everyone else was a chainsaw.
Ready, aim!
What's happening out there?
Hell if I know. The lead beater got canned.
Man, this is like if Carlos Mencia ripped off Dave Chappelle's Everything.
Haven't seen a Mexican run like that since ever. Must be some work in that thing.
Oh yeah, that's the joke. That's the joke, alright. And this game's gonna keep telling it until you think it's funny. And you're never gonna think it's funny, because you're not a fucking teenager who just discovered fucking 4chan.
Spouting the same 100-year-old fucking stereotypes for everyone, thinking they're a fucking comedic genius that they're fucking George Carlin.
It's the damn zombie bomb!
Wait, hold on. Is this a bomb that turns people into zombies, a bomb that cures zombies, or a bomb to blow up zombies?
Why didn't it go off?
Some sort of internal malfunction, possibly caused by landing on that Mexican.
Sergeant, you and the others need to evacuate the area immediately!
Listen, people, I have an announcement to make. If you don't want to see any mud, but you best close your eyes.
It's too late. My eyes are full of the Mudbutt. Well, it blows up, but it cures zombies with an explosion, and theoretically it kills Anthony. But don't worry, once you let your companions go on the helicopter, you have to survive long enough for them to escape. You know, on a helicopter that's in the air and would be out of range of that bomb in like 10 seconds. And can't be attacked by zombies.
Alright.
And then you detonate the bomb, but then...
Bitches!
Yeah, man. Bitches. I think every game I play now is the worst thing I've ever played. I think that's where we are now. I think that they just find these games at a flea market. I hear 21 has the new God of War, but I know he sucked a dick for it. I wouldn't do that. Next Doom game, though, my jaw's gonna go numb, I'll tell you that much.